Okay, so in my speech today, I'm going to be talking about the top 4 hiking trails all around the world. So the first hiking trail is the Everest Base Camp in Nepal. This hiking trail is 11-day round trip. That's the map here. So you actually start in Lukala there. We'll get to that in a minute. And then it goes around. This hike is rated as difficult, and the best times to hike this trail is in April to May or October to November. My source for all this information on this trail is earthtrekkers.com and alltrails.com. So before we get into the hike itself, you first have to fly to the location that the trail starts. This hiking location is one of the most dangerous airports in the entire world. It only has one lane, it's faced upwards towards a mountain, and every few years there's a tragic accident that kills everybody on the plane. So if you want to go for the thrill of the most dangerous airport, this is the hike to go. So like during the daily hikes, there are multiple stops and like huts that have food and other travelers doing the same exact thing as you, and bathrooms, because you're in the middle of a mountain, you need somewhere to go, and then beds for overnight. Sometimes there aren't very good huts, so you would have to bring like sleeping bags and other warm clothes. So this is the itinerary. So you go to Lukala to Bakhtin, then Bakhtin to Namche Bazaar, then they included rest days in the source. So the rest days are used to get accumulated to the atmosphere that you're at, because sometimes atmospheric changes really make you sick. And if you get sick on those atmospheric changes, there's nothing that you can do except go back down the mountain. Then you go to Tombulch and to Dienbulch, then another rest day, then Dienbulch to Lombulch to the Everest Base Camp. You made it to your destination. Kayla Pathar to Trek Panbulch to Namache Bazaar, then Namache to Lukala again. Obviously, it's going to be easier going down the mountain than it is going up the mountain. So what do you do when you get on top of the mountain? Well, once you get on the top of the mountain, you stay the night at the Everest Base Camp. Then most people wake up at the bright AM at 3:30 a.m. to hike 500 meters up the mountain to see the sunset coming over the tallest mountain of the world. It's really pretty. My second mountain is Tour du Mont Blanc. It's a hiking trail through Europe, so it's in 3 different countries: France, Switzerland, and Italy. It's a 10-day hike with 106 miles, and the best time to do it is June to September. My sources for this trail is kimkim.com, Wildland Trekking, and muchbetteradventures.com. This is overall a good trail for you to have if you want to go on a moderate scale hike. It has really great stops that you can stop through, because it's in the middle of country, so there's going to be tons of different villages placed all over. There's plenty of stops if you need to catch your breath or anything. Also, the trails are they're placed well, so it's easier on you. Along the trail for this one, there are different villages, like I said. And actually, there's a ski resort that you can stop on one day, so you can bring your snow gear and go on skiing down the mountain. There's different shops and restaurants that you can stop at, so it's more of a rural, you can go into rural communities and shop through it rather than just a plain old hike. The itinerary for this one is day 1 you arrive in Genova, and then you fly down to Chamonix. Then you hike Chamonix and stop at Breakfast, then go to Les Ponges. Then you go to Les Ponges, to Bellevue, to Col du Tricot Pass, and Les Contemis, and then to Monterey. I don't think I'm gonna pronounce all these because you can read them for yourself right here. So the Inca Trail, my third one is Inca Trail in Peru. This is a 4-day hike. It's 33.7 miles. The best times to do it is in May to October. But the negatives to that is that it has high tourism, cold nights, and it's highly booked. Then there's wet season, which is an okay time to go, but the only negatives is that it's wet season with rainy weather, but it's easy to book and it's not as crowded. So pick and choose there. The fun thing about this hike is that there's a lost city. It's one of the 7 wonders of the world. It's called Machu Picchu. It's without a doubt one of the iconic symbols of Inca. So it's really neat to imagine what they used to do there. Also, there's a lot of interesting animals that you don't get to see on a day-to-day basis here in the Midwest. So that's really neat, but like llamas and jaguars. It's really neat. This is the itinerary for this day, and that's the map. So, and my source for this is alongdustyroads.com as well. The supplies you need for this mountain trails are water, obviously, a pack cover, so a cover to go over your backpack so it doesn't get wet if it rains. Sleeping bags that are really warm for if it's snowy or freezing. Waterproof hiking boots, camp shoes, depending on if you're going up or down the mountain. LED headlights with extra batteries just in case it gets dark. Trekking poles, a first aid kit, and then warm clothes. So my last hike for this speech is Cinque Terre hike in Italy. It's a shorter hike, it's less intense, not in the mountains, by the ocean. You can also bring a swimsuit to go in the Mediterranean Sea. My source is also earthcrackers.com for this. The itinerary for this is it's really easy. You only can go to you can go to 4 different places, stop wherever you want. And it's just overall a really interesting hike and with different viewpoints. Instead of mountains, you get to see the ocean. My conclusion is these hikes are beautiful and good hikes to get off of your bucket list. I hope you guys learned something like I did. I researched all of these places and I find it really interesting to see different things that you don't get to see on a daily basis. These are my sources. Any questions? Courtney?
So what do you have to do to train to do an 11-day hike?
You have to it's just like any other sport. You have to practice and go out on longer hikes and see what you need to, how you climb up mountains, what procedures you need to do, and basically all that. Gabe?
How safe is it to go on any one of those hikes?
It's different for each trail because the more dangerous hikes are for more experienced hikers, so it's not as dangerous for an experienced hiker compared to a beginner hiker. So it all depends on which trail you go to. Maddie?
Would you go on any of these hikes?
I think I would go on the one in Italy because I'm an ocean girl by heart, so it's just really gorgeous. Any other questions? Thank you.